Hey everybody, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here. Don't forget to subscribe. And today, I want to talk about AI regulation because AI laws are finally arriving. And for this, we have to go to Yonhap News in South Korea to talk about that government because South Korea just became the first country to pass a comprehensive law on the safe use of artificial intelligence. Now, this is the Basic Act on the Development of Artificial Intelligence and the Establishment of a Foundation for Trust law. Now, that is basically just known as the AI Basic Act in that country. Now, South Korea basically became the first in the world to create a regulatory framework against disinformation and other dangerous consequences related to AI. The Europeans, or rather the European Union, is working on the AI Act, but has not fully come to fruition. So South Korea beat them to the punch here. Now, this law officially came into effect yesterday on Thursday, according to their Ministry of Science. Now, the AI Basic Act focuses on requiring companies and AI developers to take greater responsibility in combating deepfakes and disinformation created by the new technology, by various forms of artificial intelligence. The law also gives the government the power to impose fines or launch investigations into violations. The law also introduces the concept of high-risk AI, although the EU also has very similar language. This is models that create content that could significantly affect people's lives or safety. Think about Grok, aka Twitter/X, that AI, where it was undressing people. You could send it a picture and Grok would undress it for you. And for quite some time, basically that was not addressed by X or Grok or anything. And now finally they're starting to put some guardrails around that. So companies that use high-risk AI must warn their users that they basically are using a high-risk AI, and the company is then responsible for their safety as well. So all AI-generated content must now be watermarked in South Korea. But South Korea's Ministry of Science and Technology said that these are just basic security measures that companies can take. International AI companies with an annual revenue of 1 trillion won, that's about 681 million US, domestic sales of 10 billion won, and at least 1 million daily users must appoint a local representative in that country. That's very similar to GDPR language, where you have to have a representative within the EU. That's a very common thing, and that most countries are starting to adopt that as well, that have good privacy laws. So think EU, Australia, Canada, Japan, etc. South Korea, obviously. So for basically so far, only Google and OpenAI basically meet this criteria. They are the two of the biggest players out there, and failure to comply would result in fines of up to 30 million won, which, quite frankly, is not a lot compared to, obviously, the amount of money that the Googles and OpenAIs are bringing in. So the AI Basic Act also includes measures for the government to promote the development of the artificial intelligence industry. And the Minister of Science is required to present a policy plan every 3 years. So I think this is great. I think this is something that we've needed from every country, whether it's the US all the way around the world. And again, there are many countries that are working on their own artificial intelligence regulation. But the big issue here, and this is something actually that Prime Minister Carney of Canada alluded to the other day, is that basically there's a lot of middle powers out there, meaning countries that are not superpowers like the US, China, that kind of thing, but they're all kind of starting now to kind of band together to see how they can compete. And I think this is one of those things when we are looking at basically middle powers, as Prime Minister Carney put it, something that could definitely differentiate them, because we know, essentially in the unwritten rules of warfare, there's not going to be many scruples when it comes to AI development in China, the United States, which basically has no regulations. And we used to have an executive order on that, and that got rescinded. So we're going to see where this goes. But kudos to South Korea on this. I think it's a good step, and I guess we'll see where it goes, but hopefully the EU and others will follow. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP. And please feel free to subscribe to me at YouTube as well. And as always, stay safe, stay online, and please, I'm going to stay private, informed, and secure. Take care.